The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Scott Earhart here, Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Do want to thank you all very, very kindly for taking time out of your busy days to join us. We really do appreciate that. I think you're going to find our presentation today very timely and very valuable. In just a few minutes, I will bring Mr. Dave Pimper, one of our top producers and national sales coaches, on to discuss some 401k or RISA fund sales and marketing options. Very, very strong presentation that you'll see today. Before we do hand it over to Dave, I'm going to go through just a few housekeeping items and some introductory slides, and we will start with the housekeeping items. First and foremost, probably the most important thing you will hear out of my mouth today is in the top right-hand corner of your screen, and that's our phone number. Our phone number here at the main office is 800-255-5055. If there is anything that we can be doing to help you in your life or annuity efforts, please do not hesitate to give me a call or give us a call. Second housekeeping item are polling questions. Throughout the presentation today, I will launch 2 to 3 polling questions. They are simply yes or no answers. We would certainly appreciate everyone's participation in those. And then the final housekeeping item is questions. We're going to be on this presentation for probably right at 60 minutes. There's going to be a lot of information shown to you in a very condensed time frame, so I'm sure there will be questions. Dave does a great job of being as transparent as he can possibly be, so feel free to type those in. We'll do the best we can to get those answered while we are live in session today. If we do not have time to get to them, either Dave or I will give you a follow-up call and get you the correct information. So let's go ahead and get into some introductory slides here, and I want to start with the IAMS Business Builders. A couple of our most popular programs that we offer to all of our advisors to help you grow your practice. First one is going to be the Referred Producer Program. Our business here on the wholesale side of the industry is very, very similar to yours there in the field, and one of the best leads we're ever going to get is a referral from one of our valued clients, or more specifically, you, our valued advisors. When you choose to refer an individual over to us here at IAMS and they pick up any license through us, you will receive a check for $50 just as a thank you for the referral. Now, where the real money comes into play is as your referred producer writes business, you will receive a 20 basis point override on that business. Steve and Charles, our ownership group, they cut those checks at minimum quarterly, and they do sign checks for thousands and thousands of dollars at a time, so it can be very, very lucrative for you. With this in mind, if you can think of anyone that could benefit from doing business with us here at IAMS, feel free to type their name into the questions box. Feel free to email me their information. My email address is scott@iamsinc.com. Or when we do call to follow up, let us know who they are. We'll do the best we can to get them recruited over to us here at IAMS and hopefully get you on your way to earning some referred producer dollars. Moving on, our most popular program that we offer is marketing reimbursement. Rough numbers on that is for every $100,000 in premium you place through IAMS, we're going to put $100 into your marketing reimbursement program or account. Now, what makes this program so popular and so lucrative is we really do consider this to be your money. So we're going to put very few restrictions on it. We don't make you hold the account for a certain amount of time. We don't make you roll it out either. After a certain amount of time, we don't put a cap on how large you can grow the account, and we put very, very few restrictions on the vendors that you can use. So if there's someone that you've utilized in the past to help you with your marketing, we'll encourage you to continue to use that relationship. All we ask is that you send us a receipt for your expense. Hopefully we'll get you a check cut that same day and back out to you to help you offset it. If you have questions about marketing reimbursement or you'd like to know what's in the account, just let me know. We will get those answered for you. Moving on to new producer builders. This is going to be a slide geared towards anyone that is new to us here at IAMS, or if this is your first introduction to insurance agency marketing services, you will be eligible for this program. This is based on production within your first 180 days of being licensed. As you can see, there are 3 great levels that you can qualify at, and inside each level are some great perks, cash rewards, business building tools, personal perks, all available to you. If you'd like to know where you stand towards the new producer builder, or if you'd like to have a conversation about what we could be doing to assist you in stepping up to the next level of new producer builder, we'd certainly love to have that chat with you. Just let us know. Back office support. This is the heart of who we are here at IAMS. That sub-headline there in the body slide, we help you work smarter, not harder. That's truly how we were founded 33 years ago. Now, we're going to help you to work smarter, not harder through business building tools and resources. You've seen a couple slides on some of the programs we offer. You're seeing one of the great resources we have right now in our live trainings. We've got a lot of great stuff available to you at IAMSinc.com, so definitely available for you there. Case design assistance and life and annuity quotes. That's really the heart of what I do here, and my marketing staff will help you with any case designs that you have. We'll help you with all the illustrations you could possibly need, and we're going to make a same-day guarantee to you where we're going to get you out that design or that illustration the same day you request it. We definitely put a lot of value on that. Another thing that I definitely want to point out is the 3-ring guarantee. If you haven't ever called into our office here, I challenge you to do so as soon as we're done with the presentation. You will have a live person answer the phone within 3 rings. And that person will either be able to assist you with your need, or will certainly get you transferred to someone that can get your needs, help you with your needs. We also have our top sales coaching and expertise here. You're going to meet one of our sales coaches here in just a few minutes, Dave Pimper. A lot of great experience with the sales coaches, and they are eager to help all of our advisors grow their practice. Above that, submission to commission support. That is Amber Williams and her team. Do a great job of reviewing apps, scrubbing apps, submitting apps, tracking apps on your behalf, and helping you get commissioned as quickly as possible. If you've never utilized our new business team here, I'd challenge you to do so. There's no fee for that service. No, doesn't cost you anything on your commission. It's just a value add that we have, and it's a big value add because it takes a lot of that administrative stuff off your plate. And honestly, these ladies and gentlemen are very, very good at what they do. And with that skill and expertise that they have, they will help you to get commissioned much, much quicker through our experience. And then finally, paperless contracting. We are on the Efficient Forms platform. So what that means is we're going to ask you to fill out licensing one time. And then should you ever need to fill out or add a new carrier, we're not going to make you fill out new licensing. We're going to click a button on your behalf with your authorization and get that new carrier added on. Great way to save you some time and get you access to the top carriers available very, very quickly. Creative Marketing Solutions, we do have an in-house creative team here. It's headed by Jacob Tedlock. A lot of great stuff that they can do for you. A lot of great stuff that they've already done that's ready to be utilized by you and your firm. Some turnkey solutions there, ready to print, customizable with all your information, postcards, newsletters, handouts, flyers, all available, very, very easy for you to access. Agency solutions, we do have graphic design here, got great copywriting ability, so we can build you out a full customizable brand for everything. I'd tell you, if you haven't done that, to give them a call. Having a consistent brand for your business will pay dividends, help you with name recognition, help you within your natural market to really be a presence. So I would highly encourage you to do that. And then digital solutions, we can certainly help you with that. Websites, marketing design, social media consulting, email consulting, all available to you right here at IAMS. If anything that I said there trips your interest at all, give Jacob a call here in our office. We'd love to be chatting with you about what we can do with the creative team. Our website, I know I mentioned it earlier, IAMSinc.com. If you haven't been out to our website, I'd highly encourage you to do so right now, or not right now, but as soon as the presentation is completed. Create an account out there. It's going to give you access to a lot of great tools, term quote engine, annuity quote engine, rates online, forms online, links to carriers, product grids, all available to you. Out there. We do have our sales resource library that's available to you out there with a ton of great sales tools. We have our E&O partnership with Locked in Affinity. So if your E&O is coming due, great way to get you some really affordable errors and omissions available out there. Just a ton of great stuff available to you. So I'd certainly encourage you to go out and create an account if you have not to this point. Retirement Analyzer, one of the top tools that we offer. We do have a 90-day free trial available to all of our licensed agents. Marcus Solar in our office is the point man for Retirement Analyzer. So if this is of interest to you, let him know. We'll get it out to you. Retirement Analyzer is really a holistic retirement planning software. Gives clients a really good view of where they're at with their financial mix and how long those dollars will last them in their retirement years. Now, why I like it so much is I think it's a great closing tool, because with a simple click of a button, you can show your clients, Mr. and Mrs. Client, this is where you are slated to run out of money in your current situation. Click the button. Because you choose to implement the products I'm recommending or the solutions I'm recommending to you, now your money will last this much longer. Really will help you close a sale. Very plain grass, very simple to understand information for clients. So it's a great tool. Again, we do have a free trial available on it. If you'd like to see it, just give Marcus a call. He'll get that out to you. IAMS Wealth Management. This is the newest portion of our business. Coming up on 2 years old now. Very excited with the success we've had with IAMS Wealth Management and are continuing to have. As I talk about it, I'm going to launch our first poll of the day and just asking you if you'd like more information about IAMS Wealth. If you click yes, you're going to receive an automatic email as well as a call from probably Mike Hansen, one of our onboarding specialists there in IAMS Wealth. We formed IAMS Wealth to really help our natural client, the insurance advisor, expand their business. So we designed it with the same mentality that IAMS was designed to be, a service-based organization that's focused on the independent advisor, and that rings very true. You can call right into the office there. You're going to get a live person that answers the phone. They're going to help you with your needs. We've got some great partners on the technology and the back office side to really give you a lot of value on it. If you were thinking about adding in assets under management to your practice, we've got some great partnerships for training to help you be able to pass the Series 65 very efficiently, and we get a pretty nice discount on that package as well. The area where we've seen really the largest growth with IAMS Wealth has been from other IARs taking a look at us and moving to us, and simply what I'll tell you is other advisors are looking to move to IAMS Wealth Management because of the platform and the technology that's offered and the fee structure. I don't think that there is a better value proposition for the IAR out there than IAMS Wealth Management right now, and I don't think there's a better value proposition for the clients. So if you're an existing IAR, I'd tell you to click yes, have a conversation with Mike, take a look at our platform, take a look at our technology package, and take a look at the fee structure. I think you will be very impressed with what we bring to the table. That being said, I'm going to move on from this poll. If you haven't taken the time to click yes or no, certainly would appreciate the participation there. All right. Thank you, everyone. Moving on to the Life and Annuity Academy. I'm going to launch the second poll and the final poll for a while here, asking you if you'd like more information about the Life and Annuity Academy. We are wrapping up our second Academy of the year here right now. We will be holding it May 8th, 9th, and 10th. The reason why we've got this polling question in there is we are going to shortly after we have completed the Academy, May 8th, 9th, and 10th, announce our third all expense paid life and annuity Academy of 2019. Very excited about that. This is an event that we've done for a long, long time, had a lot of success with it, and I'm sure we'll continue to have a lot of success. Basically, what this model will look like for you is we are going to fly you in on a Wednesday, have an evening session that Wednesday, going to do a full session on Thursday, full day, have a morning session that Friday, break right about noon, hopefully get you back out on a plane and home in time for dinner. And what we do in these academies are we've designed them to be really sales and marketing oriented, not product based. So you're going to see all the department heads from IAMS there, including our ownership team. And we're going to talk to you about who we are at IAMS and what we do, the tools and programs we have to help you grow your business, the assistance that we provide to you to help you increase your closing ratios, increase your appointment ratios as well. What I think is probably the best value in this is that we will bring in at least 4 of our sales coaches from throughout the country. And in order to be a sales coach with IAMS, not only do you have to talk the talk, but you have to walk the walk as well. And what I mean by that is they're all top producers. They're the upper 1% of commission and fee earners in our industry. And they're going to show you exactly what it is that they do in their daily practice that has made them so successful, give you the ability to take that home with you and implement it in your own practice. Now, before I move on or close down the poll, I do believe Dave Pimper has joined us. He is one of our presenters, has been for a long time at these life and annuity academies, and I'd be amiss if I didn't give Dave an opportunity to add a few words about the Life and Annuity Academy. Dave, can you hear us?
Hey, Scott, how are you doing?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Any words about the Academy for us?
Yeah, you know what? Of course, I'm biased. I've been to and presented at a lot of annuity academies over probably 12, 13 years that I've been a presenter, and I present. Most annuity academies that FMOs have are much more of a product show. And there's nothing wrong with having some product knowledge. You certainly need that, but all the product knowledge in the world and not getting in front of people, you still have all the knowledge in the world with no money in your pocket. So it's the marketing end, the prospecting end, the sales process end. That is really what I think kind of is the difference in an annuity academy, annuity and life academy with IAMS, the FMO, than maybe some others. I think the next thing too is that IAMS is very inclusive. So you got people, guys and gals from all over the United States. They're there for a reason because they're in production. They're producing, and what happens is that we have, afterwards, we'll have some adult beverages. Might smoke a cigar. I mean, everybody's invited. I mean, we want people to feel welcome, and really, I mean, there's a lot of friends made, and that networking amongst the other advisors too. What's working for them, as long as you're not in their territory and in their neck of the woods. A lot of that information is kind of that social hour of what's working, what's not, and I tell you, Scott, you've been to a lot of them also in the years that you've attended, and they're a little bit unique. And I'll tell you what, to take yourself out of production for nearly 3 days, that's a big deal. It's a big deal for me, but I certainly make room on my calendar to be able to go there, present, and to be able to kind of work with the producer, make friends with the producer, give everything that I know in the last, I started the business in 1981, so that's 38 years ago. That's a long time in the industry. I've made a lot of mistakes, but learned from those mistakes and like to get in front of people. So if you're looking to kind of rev up your business, if you kind of qualify, I think that an IAMS Annuity Academy and Life Academy could be something right up your alley.
Hey, Dave, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. And as always, thank you for the assistance you provide to us at these academies. Invaluable asset. We really do appreciate it. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and close down this poll. So if you haven't taken the time to click yes or no on that, certainly would love it if you do so. All right. Thank you, everybody. And, fun slide here. Ritz-Carlton, the IAMS 2019 Marketing Summit. Coming up here in August. Still got time to qualify going through June 30th. 3 million trip credits gets you there. Combination, all the breakdown is there in that slide. It's going to be a great trip. This is going to be our largest marketing summit that we've ever had. It's going to be one of the best locales we've ever been to. Naples is just fantastic, and the Ritz-Carlton is amazing down there. So if you are interested in attending the marketing summit, if you'd like to know where you're at trip credit wise or what we can do to help you get over that hump by the end of June, certainly let me know. I'd love to have that conversation with you. Definitely want you there with us. It's going to be a great beach, great shopping, great spa, great golf, great food, great community down there. It's really going to be a neat time. So let me know if there are any questions on that. And with that being said, I'm going to give control over to Dave Pimper here, and we will get into the meat and potatoes. As I'm giving control to Dave, please don't hesitate with any questions that you have. Get them typed in. Dave does a great job of answering anything he can, so feel free to fire them all in whenever you have one. And Dave, control should be yours.
You bet. Thanks a lot, Scott, and I appreciate it a lot. My name is Dave Pimper. I've got a production coaching firm in the financial service arena called Lazarus Coaching, Lazarus, like biblical Lazarus. If you know anything about, from a biblical standpoint, that Jesus raised him from the dead, and so we talk about raising your production from the dead. But hopefully it's not dead. Hopefully that it's very alive, but maybe we can get it very, very alive. And one of the ways to do that is through seminar marketing. It's not the only way. There's many, many ways to market, but if you think seminars are dead, you're wrong. They're not dead. I'm myself and many of the people that are doing seminars right now know that they're getting good business and consistent business from seminar marketing. What happens is you got to have the right topic. Social Security is a very hot topic right now and has been for quite a few years. A 401k IRA rollover. This is a workshop that I put together. I had a FINRA reviewed a few years ago. So if you're security licensed, I've got a FINRA review letter on that. But it seems like workshops work better. Seminars work better if you've got a specific point you're talking about. It used to be better if you went and fished with a whole bunch of lines. In fact, I looked at a a seminar invite today, very professionally done by one of the big firms that you've heard of as far as the FMO, but it was, like 8 or 9 pages, and it talked about so many different things. Talked about taxes, talked about estate planning, bullet point income, Social Security, health care, long-term care, insurance, life insurance, financial tools. What happens is when somebody gets, and they had a very, very poor response on this, a very poor response, was held at a local college down south. What happens is there's just too much information. It just gets confusing. If you can bullet point it, be a little bit like a cardiologist. You're not doing every type of surgery, but you are doing heart surgeries. And so what happens is that's the same way it is here. I work with the pre-retired and just retired crowd, people who are in transition in their life. That's who I want to work with. When people are in transition, there's more of a chance that they will opt to work with another advisor or with a portion of their business. And I think that when you're talking about 401ks, IRAs, Roth IRAs, beneficiaries, QLACs, Roth conversions, it goes RMDs, required minimum distributions. All of these are covered in the workshop itself. This is an hour workshop. And in that hour's time period, we cover a ton of information. And what we want is that person to say, yes, I want an appointment with you, with Dave Pimper or with John Doe, whoever the producer is. I want an appointment because I've got questions for him. It's educational in nature. We don't talk about any product in specifics, but I think the big thing here is that you've got to have some background, and that's where the coaching comes in. That's how I make my money. I don't make money from an override or from a hierarchy. In your hierarchy, I make money from coaching, and we'll talk about that here at the end. So, I've got 30 plus years. Started in 1981. I've done this for a long, long time. I learned much more from the down periods and tough periods than I do in the up periods. But I will tell you this: I just talked with a coaching prospect earlier in the day, and he's this is a second career for him. He's a really good guy. He's been studying really hard, working hard. He's done it for 3 years, but he wanted to know all about the product before he actually went in and did a lot of prospecting, so he wouldn't be made foolish. In our business, if you don't jump in and get appointments, you're not going to be successful. The more appointments, it's such an easy business. You need to get in front of X amount of qualified prospects face to face. You need to close X amount percentage of qualified prospects to clients on an ongoing basis. What's the most important of those two? Getting in front of people. If you're the best closer, the best presenter, you're the best salesperson, the best advisor, the best knowledge, and you never get it in front of anyone, you know how much money you make? The same as the person who panhandles on the side of the road. Yeah. You've got to get in front of people. And so what happens is I do seminars. I've done almost 500. I think it's 494 or 5 seminars since the mid-'80s. That garners me 10, 12, 13 appointments a month. I do a radio show called Retirement Boss Radio that is also marketed through IAMS. That garners me between 12 and 13, 14 also appointments a month. And so what happens is I have an appointment almost every working day, nothing to do with outside prospects or my own book of business, which I'm having appointments with every day. So, if you have a lot of appointments in the day, this may not be as of interest to you, but if you don't have enough qualified appointments, you certainly should consider seminar marketing. If you have any questions, certainly type them on in. I am now going to go through this pretty quickly, and I wouldn't go through this quite so fast if it was, I was actually in the seminar itself. But here we go, and if you got any questions, type them on in. Those are the actual slides. It's right at an hour presentation, but I will say that I try to cover a lot of topics within the 401k IRA rollover. A lot of people think they've got a great knowledge, but let's test your knowledge, okay? So we're going to go in and we're going to see of how much you really do know. So let's say you make your initial, here's the quiz question. You make your initial Roth IRA contribution for the 2015 tax year on April the 15th of next year, which you can do it up to the filing date with no extensions. How many years do you have to wait to withdraw all of your money out tax-free? Earnings are tax-free, growth is tax-free. How many years do you have to wait? Most people say 5. In this, though, it's 3 years, 8.5 months. You know the reason is, if you go in, whether it's January the 3rd, July the 1st, or April the 15th of the next year, it all reverts back to 1/1 of the year that you're making the Roth contribution. Most people have no clue about that. What type of trust do you have to establish for your IRA when your intent is to make sure your designated human beneficiaries within that trust are able to stretch out the tax deferral for a lifetime? Can you go in and have an inherited IRA with a trust? Yes, you can. It's a see-through trust, or you're looking through, it's a conduit trust, but you're looking through to seeing the heartbeats of the individuals who's going to inherit that money and take it out over their lifetime. What type of trust do you have to establish for your non-IRA with an annuity when your intent is to make sure your designated human beneficiaries within that trust are able to stretch out the tax deferral? Trick question. Can't be done. Can't be accomplished unless it's an IRA. What does the designation of per stirpes mean? Pertaining to to beneficiaries. What is that? What does per stirpes mean? Well, two common designates are per stirpes and per capita. Per capita means per head. Per stirpes means per bloodline or per root, by branch. You have two brothers. One of the brothers dies. Per capita, 100% will go to the other brother. Per stirpes, it goes down through the bloodline of the deceased. If it's 50-50 split, half of that will go down through, say he's got 3 children, it'll be a third, and a third, all go to the children. Does not go to the non-bloodline, i.e. the wife, but it would go to the bloodline of children. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a set of 3 or 4, 5 slides. I like to be balanced. The regulators want to see a holistic approach, and you know what? It works well too from an educational standpoint. When you've got, I like to have 15 to 20 people. 15 to 25 people is perfect in a room per night, and we mail out 6,000 pieces. And it's not cheap. I mean, it's a pay to play. It's going to cost you $3,400 to mail out those pieces. And this is a dinner seminar. It's not strong enough to be a non-dinner, but that dinner is probably going to cost you, in Nebraska, Omaha, it costs $20 a head. That includes the tax and the tip and the room charge. But if you got 40 people, about $800. So, you know, you're going to have 4,000, 4,200, 4,300, another there's $100 for the 800 service. So no, it's not inexpensive, but trying to do it by yourself, unless you're really, really good, it's tough. And all I do is, this is a system A through Z. Our goal is, when people come to a workshop like this, they kind of know what they're getting into. Yeah. And we know right away, 20 or 25, if 40% of the people come, you know, 8 to 10 of those people of the 40, they're there for the meal. That's okay, you know. And I always say up there, hey, there's a few of you here just for the meal. I would never take out 2-3 hours of a night, a beautiful night like tonight, to listen to me, but more power to you if that's what they want to do. So even though when I say 401k, which is for profit, 403b is non-profit, 457 is a government deferred comp plan, they're all quite similar in what they do for the client, okay? So I will refer, when I say 401k, I really mean throughout the employer plan environment. But you could, when you have a termination, say you retire, you could do nothing with that money. Leave it there. As long as it's $5,000 or more, most likely they'll allow you to leave it there. You could roll it over into a new company retirement plan if you're not retiring, but you say you left your job or termination of employee, but there's some kind of triggering event that happened. Yeah, if they allow it, you could roll it over to the next 401k. Take a lump sum distribution. That wouldn't be very smart. There's really only one reason why that would be smart, which we'll cover. Convert to a Roth IRA happens not a lot because of the taxation that's involved. Rolling it over, transferring it to a traditional IRA happens all the time. That's where the bulk of the money that I have come into my practice is from IRA and 401k rollovers and transfers. No question about it. Okay? So those are the things that I'm going to go through in that first slide. Now, I'm going to do this faster than I normally, because I want to get through this in a pretty good time period, and you get the feeling of the slides and the information. But you could do nothing. Why would you leave it there? Well, maybe that's just the easiest thing to do. You know, you don't have to make a decision. You just leave it there. Maybe you're familiar with the investments. Okay. And again, if you got any questions, certainly type them on in, and we will be more than happy to answer those for you. Okay? So why leave it in the plan? As I said, very bottom is an easier choice. But one of the reasons is because if you are 55 years or over, but before you're 59 and a half, so you're in that donut hole of 55 to 59 and a half, if you move it all over to an individual retirement account, you can't get to that money without a 10% penalty, right? Yeah, no. But with a 401k, you can. There's a 55-year rule. Now, if you're 54 and then you turn 55 after you've already left, that doesn't work. You have to be 55. You have to be in that triggering time of 55 to 59 and a half. There is more protections in most states with 401ks than there is IRAs in the state of Nebraska. There really isn't too much difference, but from lawsuits or from liens. But yeah, what happens is that just other considerations, you're just comfortable. It's an easier choice. It's a lazier choice, but it's an easier choice to make, and it's certainly one of the options. So you can roll the money into a new company retirement plan. It basically has all. I put a couple extra ones in here. You need to know about fees, if they're higher or lower. A lot of people think that for 401ks, does that have fees? Of course they do. That's how they make money. That administrator, there's administration fees. If it's a smaller plan, it could be as high as 2% internal, and you got to dig to find it. If they're big plans, they can still be 0.5%. And it's very hard, not counting any of the cost of the internal funds or exchange traded funds themselves. You have loan provisions with the 401k. You don't have loan provisions in an IRA. Yeah, but pretty much the same things. Okay. Now you can take a lump sum distribution. Why would you get taxed on that? Plus they're going to hold out 20% because they're not trusting you that you'll pay federal income tax. So it's a mandatory tax withheld. But there's something called net unrealized appreciation. So let me tell you, this is a reason to take out a lump sum distribution on at least a part of, or a lump sum distribution on part of the money. Net unrealized appreciation. Here's what happens is that let's say that you've got a plan worth $400,000. $300,000 are in mutual funds. $100,000 is in company stock that's publicly traded. You work for Kellogg's, and it's a Kellogg's plan. You work for IBM, and it's an IBM 401k. You work for Microsoft, it's a Microsoft 401k. Let's say it's IBM. You work for IBM. You've had some stock options, or you had a buying discount on maybe, or just a buying opportunity on your company stock. So you started accumulating years and years and years ago. So IBM certainly has gone up in value over the years. So let's just say your IBM stock is worth $100,000, but your cost to basis is $25,000. You've only invested $25,000. The value now is $100,000. Well, if you roll that into, whether it be a fixed indexed annuity or another financial strategy, what happens is any of the money you take out is taxed at the very highest ordinary income tax rates. But if you go in, this all has to be done by the end of the year, so you got to start early enough. But if you move the $300,000 of, say, mutual funds, wherever you want to, into an IRA, rolling it or direct transferring it over, and then you've got $100,000 of that stock. But what happens if you just go put that stock into a personal account? It could be your personal account, your name alone. It could be a joint account. It could be a trust account. But it becomes a taxable event because you're taking it out of the shelter of the 401k. Here's how it works. The $25,000 of cost basis, you got to pay ordinary income tax. Okay? But the $75,000 of growth, as long as you've had it for 1 year or longer, you can pay taxes legally as long-term capital gains. And if you're in a high enough bracket, there's always a preference to long-term capital gains with a high tax rate of 20% versus high 30s, like 37, 38% now. So it's a big, big saving. So normally this is for someone who's quite a bit of money in that retirement plan, quite a bit of stock, and they're fairly high tax bracketed. Then you can really, really help them. So that's called net unrealized appreciation. Won't come up often, but when it does, it's like Cinderella's slipper. It fits well. I have a couple 4 or 5 slides like this. I used to have pay royalties to a comedic writer, illustrator. But here I say experience is a good school, but the fees are high. And then I'll tell them about, what like required minimum distributions. If you're a day late, you're supposed to take out by December the 31st. If you take out January 1 or January 2, you're supposed to take out 10 grand. Your penalty is $5,000. You're supposed to take out 20,000. Your penalty is $10,000, half of what you're supposed to take out. Then to kick you when you're down, now you got to take it out and pay taxes on the whole thing. Horrendous. And that's why experience is a good school, but the fees are high if you make a mistake, where you should work with an advisor, work with someone like Dave Pimper who really understands this business inside and out. So you want to bill yourself as having expertise, within this arena. I'm not going to go through everything on this because of time constraints, but you can kind of tell what the slides look like. What is a Roth IRA? We talk about the 5-year hold rule. We talk about RMDs. We talk about Roth conversions. Okay? If you haven't done a Roth conversion, you should, because it certainly can be helpful. You're taking traditional IRA money, converting, or taking traditional 401k money and converting it. The tough thing is now, you're going to pay taxes now on it. And you have to have enough money to pay taxes from the outside. Okay? But you know what? It's pay me now or pay me later. And if you don't have to pay later because it's tax-free, it's a big savings. If I ask the crowd, I normally do here, do you think in 10 years from now that your tax rates will be higher or lower? Almost everyone says higher. And I agree. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act by Trump administration, we got some of the lower tax brackets we're going to have. All of that, but the corporation tax sunsets in the year 2025. It ends in 2025, which is in 5.5 years. It ends. Rates are going to go back to where they were, which is higher. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. Then we talk about Roth conversions, and then I put this in here. Recharacterization, the OOPS rule, not such a thing now. They did away with it with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, so you don't have till October the 15th of the next year to redo it. Once it's done, once you Roth, it's done. I talk about indirect rollovers and direct rollovers. We want to always do direct rollovers or direct transfers. That's important. We don't want to do indirect if we can possibly help it. So on an indirect rollover, that's where you get the check made out to you. If it comes from a 401k plan, 403b, 457, they're going to take 20% out of that check, pay taxes with it. Then you got to, so if it's $400,000, they're going to go in and they're going to take $80,000, $80,000 of taxation, pay it to the federal government, see where it lands when you do your taxes, if that pays for it all or not. And then you got to pay it back in the plan and move it over within 60 days if you want to keep it all tax deferred and not pay taxes on everything. The bad thing about this is, it was a law enacted with the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015. You can only go in and do this once with all of your IRAs per every given 365 days. Get a load of this. Say you do a indirect rollover of that 400,000. Okay, and you come up. Say it's in an IRA, so there's no 20%. You do the 400,000, you do it, and let's say 363 days out, you forgot you already done one or didn't know the rule. You do one for $5,000. All of a sudden, everything is taxable. The first 400, the next 5. Those apples would be sour to eat. Yeah, I just dislike indirect rollovers. What I do like are direct transfers, direct rollovers. Fidelity, they normally cut the check to and mail it to the individual, but it's made out to the new custodian. That's fine. As long as you can't cash it, it's considered a direct rollover. You can do as many as you want, any 12-month time period, no 20% is taken out, no 60-day rule. It's a much better way to do it. It can be done with existing existing IRAs, existing 401ks, could be brand new. And I have copy on every one of those slides, certainly have copy to go on in and to go with the slide. I talk about the 7 beneficiary options. I've got all the money I'll ever need if I die by 4 o'clock today, Henny Youngman. And those aren't supposed to be big belly laughers. They're just supposed to be a little chuckle, kind of keep a pretty staid, kind of boring subject to have a little bit of levity to it. But stretching out IRAs or inheriting IRAs, yeah, we talk about something called a separate account rule, dividing up the beneficiaries on their own. But there's things we talk about with beneficiaries, specifically how things need to be titled on your inherited IRA and when they need to go in and have it reported. Remember I talked about per capita, per stirpes when it talks about beneficiaries. We talk about RMDs or required minimum distributions. We talk about a QLAC, qualified longevity annuity contract. If you're paying a lot of taxation on RMDs, you can take up to $130,000 or 25% of your money, whichever is lower, to go in and defer that. You want to pay taxes starting at age 85, but you can defer those taxes and let it grow in a contractually guaranteed account by an insurance company. Arthur Godfrey says, I'm proud to be paying taxes in the United States. The only thing is, I could be just as proud for half the money. Isn't that the truth? I mean, if people would overpay on their taxes, it was on radio, and I don't know if it was conservative talk or not, but this guy was just saying how everyone, the rich need to pay more. The rich need to pay more. The rich need to pay more. And she asked him, how much do you make? And he said, I made $1.2 million last year, and I only, and my top tax bracket was like 18%. He said, I absolutely should be paying more. And I remember the radio reporter, interviewer said, well, just you can pay more into taxes. You don't have to pay just the minimum. And that he didn't know what to say about that, but most people that I know that are normal out there, we want to pay legally, we want to pay less taxes than more taxes. And there's no doubt when you look at cable, your cable bill, your phone bill, your gas, what you pay for a gallon of gas in your car, taxation, property tax, sales tax, user tax, splosh tax. I mean, it's incredible. We're taxed a lot. And if you can legally lower your taxes, that's great. Okay. So let's go in and talk about, make sure I'm on the right one. Oh yeah, in-service non-hardship withdrawal plans. If you don't know what that is, you should. If you haven't been using them, you absolutely should. It's called a 59.5 rule. No hardship needs to be, you don't have to have a hardship. And what happens is if you're 59.5 and you work in a company that has a 401k, 403b, could be a state government plan, federal government plan, like the post office has that, quasi-government. But you can go in and continue, as long as that plan administrator or the custodian has implemented an in-service non-hardship withdrawal plan. That means you have to be 59.5 or older. But if you have, say, you have $100,000 in your 401k, you can take all of that out or a portion of it out and continue to add to your 401k. The money's not locked in there. And we work at partial withdrawals all the time. The easiest way is if Vanguard's the custodian or Fidelity or Mass Mutual or T. Rowe Price or whoever it is, American Funds, Capital Guardian Trust, you just call them. You from the statement with them on the phone and you just say, hey, does it have a 59.5 in-service non-hardship withdrawal provision? And I would say of bigger plans, well over 50% of bigger plans, this is available. And it's a great way to prospect for money that people would have no idea that they had available from before. Yeah, it's a great way. We talk about the rules of the in-service non-hardship withdrawal plan. Consider using IRA money and delaying Social Security. I didn't know anything about Social Security 10 years ago. I'm 64 right now. When I was 54, I didn't know one thing. I didn't even know the basics of Social Security. And I was getting more and more and more questions about Social Security planning. I had bought from a vendor like 3 years before a whole seminar. It cost me $400, $500, $600. I mean, I never mailed it even back, and I never used it. I just wanted to see if I thought I might try to learn it, but it seemed so complicated. But I coach Social Security. You can take the slide out of this presentation if you don't know Social Security, but using IRA money or using 401k money, using traditional and or Roth money, and delaying your Social Security. Remember, if you delay it, before full retirement age, it delays out at about 6%, between 5 and 6% a year. The guaranteed increase, not counting cost of living, you add a couple more percent, is say it's 7 to 8%, and then after full retirement age. So if you're born from 1943 to 1954, so your full retirement age is 66, or normal retirement age is 66. Yeah, what happens is that it grows a guaranteed 8% plus cost of living. What's cost of living this year for Social Security? 2.8%. Well, that's 10.8% guaranteed by the U.S. government, almost 11%. Where could you get that in any outside annuity? Where could you get that in any outside investment account guaranteed by the U.S. government? Nope, there isn't such a thing. That's why it might be worthwhile to use some of your retirement money and let your Social Security grow. Now, there's lots of reasons why not to do that. There's certainly probably as many to do that, but just giving that idea to the crowd of attendees, they start thinking, never thought about that. Oh, he's got some insight there. I better go talk to him. And of course, when you hand out the evaluation forms and you got dates and times, and hopefully they sign up for an appointment, that's real important. And we guide you through that here. A lot to think about. And I always say that on the slide. There's a lot to think about. We went over a lot of information tonight. And so this is the workshop evaluation form. And I'll just kind of do it like I do in the workshop. And I'll say on this, you can mark yes if you want a consultation for 1 hour. There's no cost. There's no obligation. I always say keep your checkbooks at home. But there's dates and times that are set up for the next 2 weeks. You mark that date and time. We'll verify it tomorrow. Put a phone number where we can get a hold of you tomorrow. We know you're busy. We don't want to bug you. We're busy, certainly, of setting up a lot of appointments, but we'll get it on the calendar. Hopefully, Dave can give you some insight on it. So my promise to you is, remember I said, keep your checkbooks at home. Don't even bring a checkbook. We may not even talk about products. We're going to talk about kind of from 3,000 feet looking down on your retirement, specifically 401ks, IRAs, etc. I could almost always uncover one great problem and give you some kind of an answer, what to do, how to correct that. So ask yourself, what are the best rollover options for my company retirement plan, for my 401k? If you're asking that question, maybe you need to mark yes on that consultation form. Could a Roth conversion benefit me? It might be worth to get together to talk about that. How do I complement Social Security with my 401k as we just talked about? Could it be working for you? Could different investment choices benefit me? Yeah. Maybe you've always had limited choices within that 401k. I'm independent. We've got many available choices that could benefit you. Talking about beneficiaries, a lot of advisors just kind of breeze over that, but it's extremely important. Remember, beneficiaries will normally outweigh and trump the will of whatever's in your will. So it's very important to have the correct beneficiaries. And the last thing is, a lot of people just come in, they want some questions answered, but they just want to get a second opinion. My wife, for years and years and years, has said that the second opinion is many times the very best opinion. Then I wait a little bit and I say, so let's, as we're finishing up here tonight, everybody knows who George Foreman is, don't you? You darn right. He was the heavyweight the heavyweight boxing champ, and what happens is that Big George, he won the heavyweight boxing champ, then lost it, then came back and won it and lost it, came back again. I mean, he's revered and made tons of money being the top heavyweight of his day. But you know where he made the most money in his lifetime? Someone says the George Foreman Grill, and he say that's exactly right. In fact, the firm that used his name as the endorsement on the George Foreman Grill, what happens is that they paid him $136 million. They wrote him a check for $136 million, not counting anything to do about the overrides from the grill's sales, but $136 million. Isn't that something? So here's how I'm going to end it tonight, folks. If you have, listen to this, unless you have your name on a grill that's being sold, you probably need to mark yes and come in and see me. And then people laugh, they might clap, but I get people laughing a little bit, and I say, hey, fill out that evaluation form. One of my administrators will pick those up here within about 15 minutes, or within 5 minutes, and then we'll start our salads. Thank you very much for coming tonight. That's what we do. Yeah, so real quick about myself. I mean, it's actually real close to 500 public seminars right now. I try to make a complicated subject to make it easier to understand. We have 5 coaching sessions. The cost for coaching is $150 per coaching session. For 5 sessions, it's $750. As long as you qualify, your contracts are through IAMS and you're writing business through IAMS, the FMO, IAMS pays for $555 of that coaching. It leaves you with $195. You can ask me as many questions. I always tell people, don't wear me out, but you can email me, you can ask me questions. Yeah. And there's a lot of support, within our office to help you become successful in seminar marketing. And the very last one, it says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Never comes, does it? Tomorrow never comes. So what happens here is that if you heard something today, that you say, hey, maybe this makes a little sense to me. Maybe I can see where Dave Pimper could go in and help me walk through. I've done seminars before, was not very successful, but this track record, believe me, it has had a lot of success. Has everyone been perfect on this? Of course not. But it's kind of the consistency and persistency of marketing is what really, really pays off. Scott Earhart's going to come back on the line, and he was the original presenter for the IAMS information. And he's going to bring up a poll here. He's going to bring up a poll that says, if you'd like for us to give you a call, then mark yes. So would you like more information on the 401k IRA rollover seminar coaching? If you say yes, then one of our administrators, it'll either be Lynn or Lori, or it could be Amy, but one of the 3 will give you a call. And please take the call. I mean, don't mark yes and then not take the call, or don't mark yes and not take the appointment. I mean, we're busy as all get out, and I know you guys are too. I mean, everyone that's a producer, if they're doing the job correctly, hopefully they're getting in front of people. They've got a lot of stuff going on. Well, we're trying to just get you in front of more qualified prospects. So we're going to leave this poll up. I'd love to talk with as many people as I could. We had a lot of folks, Scott, today on the webinar. Is there any questions that came on up at all, Scott?
Just a few that came in. So a few questions are going to be, specific to guidelines, so we'll have to handle those offline here. We'll handle those individually.
Okay.
One question is, how long does this presentation normally take you, Dave, when you're actually in the room doing the actual presentation? How long of a session is it?
Takes me an hour and 5 minutes usually.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And I try to do it within an hour. I just get a little windy, but an hour and 5 minutes. I have some people do it in 50 minutes, but it shouldn't take much longer than an hour, because that's about how long people can wait before they have to use a restroom, or their legs get tired, or that's the tension span. People get hungry. So I would say an hour and 10 minutes would be about the length of it.
Gotcha.
One of the things, Scott, I wanted to bring this up too. A lot of people want to know, if we mail out 6,000 pieces, the cost of that's about $3,300, and then there's the meal cost of $700-800. So you got $4,000 plus. So it's a healthy investment. So you want to put the odds in your favor, and I would say on an average, if I can get $250,000 or $300,000 of AUM, assets under management of some type, fixed index annuities. I happen to do securities also, but or assets under management. But yeah, that's normally. And can I, as long as I make my cost, I'm putting some money above that for my rate of return, my ROI. I'm very, very happy. And I did one a couple times ago that we did over $1 million. Does it happen? Sure, it does. It does. But if I can get $250,000-300,000 out of a workshop between a couple, might be just one client, it might be 2 or 3 clients. But yeah, that's my goal, and that has been pretty consistent with me doing those workshops through the years.
I can echo Dave's sentiment there. We see part of his production from these seminars, and you are spot on, buddy, and we appreciate it.
Oh yeah, you bet.
With that being said, Dave, that does bring us right up on the hour. So you hit my next question right on the head when we were going to get into costs and ratios. So thank you for that. But with that being said, I don't want to drag on too much longer. I know that all these, the big group that did join us today, everybody's got phone calls to make and prospecting to do. So, Dave, I do appreciate your time. We appreciate your time. Do you have any parting words for the group?
No, I'm looking forward to speaking with a lot of you, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.
Hey, thank you, Dave. Thank you to the group. That poll is still up while we are signing off here. So if you haven't clicked yes or no, if you would please do so. Certainly that would help us, and we would appreciate it. While we're signing off, we do appreciate your time here today. An hour with us, we know, is an hour where you're not actively out prospecting and selling. So it is, your time is really, really appreciated. With that being said, go out and have a great sales week, everyone. We look forward to chatting with you soon.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.